Hello students, in this video lecture class we will discuss armature reaction of an alternator. This is the portion of module 1. The chapter is alternator. As you know that armature reaction, it means it is the effect of armature flux to the main flux. Already you have studied this armature reaction in the portion of DC generator in previous semester in the subject energy conversion 1, and that is what similar to this armature reaction of alternator. Here also the definition is same. The definition of armature reaction is the reaction or the effect of armature flux to the main flux or field flux. So here I have taken the two example. The same example I have taken. The first machine is the alternator which is unloaded, and second one is the loaded one. Okay. Here I take the example of three-phase alternator having two number of pole, and the pole is salient pole type. So when the alternator is unloaded, then if you excite the field winding by giving DC supply, flux is generated which is synchronously rotated in this air gap. Suppose the motion of the rotor is in the clockwise direction, and as this conductor, armature conductor, it cuts the magnetic line of forces according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction principle. EMF is induced in this conductor whose direction is given by Fleming's right hand rule. It means if you stretch thumb, forefinger and middle finger of right hand, then thumb, it shows the direction of motion, and forefinger, it shows the direction of magnetic field, and this middle finger, it shows the direction of EMF. If I put my right hand in this way, then my forefinger is inward. That is the direction of inward, direction of EMF. So inward is denoted by cross. So it is outward. Suppose this is the red phase, red. This is R dash, or I may write it is A or A dash. Similarly B, B dash, C, C dash. These three phases are displaced by 120 degree from one another. So if I apply here right hand Fleming's rule, then my middle finger, it shows the inward direction of EMF, and my forefinger, it shows the direction of field or flux. It shows the direction of field or flux or main flux, and the thumb, it shows the direction of conductor. Yes, here the conductor is stationary. The armature conductor is stationary. Okay, and I rotate the rotor, this field winding. So its relative motion is opposite to the rotor. Clear? So this is the motion of the conductor. Upward is the motion of the flux, direction of the flux, and this cross, it shows the direction of EMF. Similarly, if you find B dash and C dash is also cross, and A dash, C, B, these are dot, means here outward direction of EMF. Okay, as my alternator is unloaded, no current is flowing through the conductor. The second case, here it is loaded. As it is loaded, what happen? If you magnetize the field winding, then the armature conductor, the flux it create which flow in the air gap or whose direction is given by right hand curl rule. Here what is the direction of flux? Here from south to north. Here the direction of flux is like this, south to north direction, in this direction, in this. But here when it is loaded, it is unloaded condition, unloaded. When it is loaded one, when it is loaded, at that time, when this conductor, it cuts the magnetic line of force, EMF is induced in it, and which circulate the current flowing through the conductor or flowing through the load if connected, whose direction is given by also Fleming's right hand rule. And here the same way how you decide the direction of EMF, the same way here you decide the direction of current, due to which the flux it creates, the armature conductor, it creates its own flux which is circulating in the air gap. So here also, suppose this end is A, this is A dash, this is B, B dash, this is C, C dash, this is cross 1, and these are the dot. Why I say it is cross? How you know the direction? Cross means in and dot means out. So here how you know that current is inward to the conductor A, B dash and C dash? If I put, this is the north pole, this is the south pole, okay, the flux which one is created from this field is upward, main flux is upward direction, main field flux is in the upward direction. And how you decide the direction of flux here? Now first you find the direction of current, because due to this current, due to the conductor current, flux is created. So first you find the direction of current by right hand rule. If I apply here right hand rule, then my middle finger, it shows the inward direction, that is, it is current in this conductor, and my thumb, it shows the direction of motion of the conductor, and this one direction of flux, okay. And due to which, according to right hand curl rule, the direction of flux created by this conductor is here as the direction of the conductor is in this direction. So if I apply right hand curl rule, my flux is which direction? My flux is clockwise, means in this direction, it is clockwise. It is clockwise. And for inward direction of current, it is anti-clockwise. Inward direction of current, sorry, outward direction of current, outward means anti-clockwise and inward means clockwise, okay. This is my right hand. According to right hand curl rule, if the thumb shows the direction of current, flux shows my curl, it shows the direction of flux. So I apply here for getting the armature flux, here I apply right hand curl rule. Generally for motor, left hand is applied, and generally for generator we apply right hand rule, okay. So as it is inward means my thumb is inward and curl is clock, okay. So in this way you decide the direction of armature flux, and for outward it is anti clockwise. It is anti-clockwise, outward. So it is anti-clockwise. Okay. So here we are very clear that the load decide, actually in alternator, load decide the reaction of armature flux to the main flux. Clear? So here we will discuss three type of load. When the load is unity power factor, second for lagging power factor, and third for leading power factor. In unity power factor, you know that EMF and current are in same phase. In lagging power factor, current lags the voltage by 90 degree, and for leading power factor, current leads the voltage by 90 degree. So let us first discuss what is the effect of armature flux to the main flux in unity power factor. First, unity power factor. If the load is unity power factor, the same example here I will take the alternator. Here the current through each phase I represent in waveform. Okay, I represent the current for this loaded alternator, the current which one is circulate to the load. Suppose here, as here I take the load is unity power factor, it means my load is purely resistive. Suppose this is a armature winding, na? It is an armature winding. So here I connect a resistive load. Okay. Suppose this is my loaded alternator. I take power factor is unity. It means load is resistive. This is the example of circuit diagram of unity power factor load. So here in this waveform I show the waveform for three phase currents. This is for phase, the yellow color is for phase 1, blue color is for phase B, and pink color is for phase C. As it is a three phase balanced system, these three currents are displaced by from each other by an electrical degree of 120. Clear? See, when the current IA, it reaches its peak value, at that time the two phase current B and A are half of this maximum value, and it is negative, half of this maximum value, and its value is negative. So what is the resultant armature flux which affects on this main flux? Which one is upward direction? Okay, what is its effects? So the better example here I take, as it is a unity power factor, so each phase voltage and currents are in phase to each other. This is phase A current, voltage, phase A current, they are in phase. Similarly, this is phase B voltage, phase B current, phase C voltage, phase C current. So what is the respective flux? As you know that flux leads the EMF by an angle of 90 degree. How you know that? From which equation you have get this conclusion? You know that E is equal to minus N d phi by dt. Here we take the alternating quantity of flux, that is phi m sin omega t. If you put this value in this equation, you get E as N W phi m sin 90 degree minus omega t. And from where you get this equation? If you remember, you have studied this portion in basic electrical engineering and also in circuit and network theory subject in 3rd semester and in 1st semester. So the respective fluxes, they leads their respective phase voltages by an angle of 90 degree. So phase A flux, for phase A, the flux it leads EMF, phase A EMF by 90 degree. This is phi A. Similarly, flux B at phase B leads the EMF at phase B by 90 degree. This is phi B. I differentiate with the different color, flux by pink color. Okay. I differentiate this flux by pink color. Similarly, for phase C, its flux leads the voltage at phase C by 90 degree. This angle are the 90 degree angle. Clear? Now, what is my motto here? Here my motto is to find the total flux created by the armature winding and what is its effect on the field flux. So, here I have to find the resultant of these 3 fluxes. You know that these fluxes are actually created by the armature current. Okay. So, first here we find the value of armature current. Suppose here the maximum value of armature current is Im. Okay. And this is my reference axis. This vertical axis is my reference axis. This is the maximum value of at time t1. This is at time t1. I1 is maximum, Im. Okay. This is the positive value and this is the negative value, Im. So, what is the value of Ia here? Ia is Im. Then Ib. Ib, this angle is 60 degree, this angle is 60 degree. Ib is, I take the vertical component here, Ib is minus Im cos 60 degree. His value is minus Im by 2. Similarly, Ic is minus Im cos 60 degree, whose value is also equal to Ib. Okay. So, if you take the phasor sum of these 3 currents, you get the resulting current is 1.5 Im. Resulting current is 1.5 Im. It is the average current. As due to this current, flux produced in the armature conductor, hence the resulting flux is value is also 1.55 m. Clear? And its direction, how you decide? By drawing the phasor diagram. By drawing the phasor diagram. So I erase this one and draw the phasor diagram on this same axis. See, here Ia is Im. I's value is Im. Okay. So phi A is also phi m, because due to this current this flux is produced, no? So phi m direction is why I draw this phasor diagram, you know na students, actually for getting the direction of resulting flux created by the armature. Hence only I will get what is its effect or what is the impact of this flux on the main flux. So that I first find the direction or phasor diagram. So phi A is phi m I get. Then what is the value of phi B? It is minus Im by 2. It means phi B is minus Im by 2. So I take the reverse of this one, means this part. It is phi B. Okay. Then phi C, as IC is also minus Im by 2. So it is Im by 2. So as it is a negative, I take its negative opposite axis. This one. It is phi C. And finally, I get the resultant of this 3 phasor. Okay. It is resultant of the armature flux in the unity power factor load. So phi R is equal to resultant of phi A plus resultant of phi B and phi C cos 60 degree. As this angle is 60 degree. Okay. Again I write, it is phi A plus root over of phi B square plus phi C square minus 2 phi B phi C cos 60 degree. Parallelogram theorem here you apply. So after solving this, you get the resultant flux. Here phi A value is how much? Phi A value is phi m. Phi B value is minus phi m by 2 and phi C value is minus phi m by 2. Clear? Students, may you feel this one is very lengthy, but if you concentrate on this, it is very easy. So please be patient and try to understand this lesson. If anywhere you get any doubt, then ask me. Okay. So here, if you solve this equation, you get the resultant flux is 1.55 m. This is the average flux produced by the armature conductor, and its value is always and always constant. It is not change. Only the power factor it affect on the armature reactions. Okay. So here we get the direction of resultant flux is in this direction and main field flux is upward. Okay. It is upward here. In this study, we are very clear that the resulting This is the main field flux and this one is the armature resultant flux. So here we see in unity power factor load, the armature resulting flux, it is quadrature of the field flux, and this type of effect is called as cross magnetizing effect. It means it doesn't affect or doesn't minimize the field flux, but it distorts the field flux, and this effect of armature flux to the main flux is called as cross magnetizing effect. Next we see for lagging power factor. For lagging power factor we will discuss what is the effect of armature flux to the main flux. Do you get this, students? What happened in case of unity power factor? It is the cross magnetizing effect, or it distorts the main flux. Which one? The armature flux distorts the main flux. The same machine, same armature. The same example I have taken for discussing armature reaction in case of leading power factor. Lagging power factor. The second case is lagging power factor. You know that for lagging power factor, current, it lags the voltage by 90 degree. So I draw the through phasor diagram. Here I explain how the armature flux affect the main flux. Here first I draw the phasor for phase voltage. This is EMF of phase A. This one is the EMF of phase B. This one is the EMF of phase C, and they are displaced from each other by 120 degree. As it is a lagging power factor, it means the load is purely inductive. It doesn't consist of any ohmic loss. So its current lags their respective phase voltages by 90 degree. This is IA for phase A. For phase B, this one is IB. For phase C, this one is IC. As you know, the flux, it leads the voltage by 90 degree. Okay, it leads the voltage by 90 degree. I draw here the phasor for flux. For phase A, its flux leads by 90 degree. For phase B, its flux leads by 90 degree. For phase C, its flux leads by 90 degree. Here separately I draw the phasor diagram for flux. As in this same diagram, I will draw the resultant axis or resultant flux. Hence here I draw it separately. Okay. So the flux in the phase C, it leads this voltage by 90 degree. This is the flux for phase C. Clear? Now here for finding armature reaction on the field flux, first I find what are the values of current, because due to this current, flux is created on the armature conductor. Here you suppose the direction of maximum current is this one. This is the positive value. and this is the negative value minus Im, as Ia is 90 degree beyond Im. So its vertical component, Ia is Im cos 90 degree, which is equal to 0. Then come to the current at phase B. The current at phase B, it is 30 degree. This angle is 30 degree. This angle is also 30 degree. How you know that it is 30 degree? See, this angle is 90 degree. Okay, this angle is 90 degree. If this angle is 60, this one is 30 degree. Similarly, this one, it is 30 degree. So vertical component of IB, it is Im minus Im cos 30 degree, whose value is minus root 3 by 2 Im, and IC is plus Im cos 30 degree, whose value is root 3 by 2 Im. As due to this current, the respective flux is produced in the armature conductor per phase. So the value of phi A is 0, phi B is minus root 3 by 2 Im, and phi C is plus root 3 by 2 Im. So by taking this parameter or this value, I will draw the phasor diagram for getting the resultant flux. So phi A is 0, so this part is cancelled out. Phi B is minus root 3 by 2 Im. Minus root 3 by 2, actually in case of flux it is minus root 3 by 2 phi m. It is root 3 by 2 phi m. So phi B, it is negative value. So I extend this phasor just opposite to this phasor. I extend this here. It is phi B. Okay, and take the resultant. So the resultant phasor at lagging power factor load, I get it is opposite to the main flux, opposite to the field flux. It is armature resultant flux. And if you calculate the resultant magnitude, you get phi AR is 1.5 m. This value never changes. This value is constant. This is the average flux produced by the armature conductor. Okay. This angle is 60 degree total. So the conclusion you get, in case of lagging power factor load, the field flux and armature flux, they are opposite to each other. It means the armature flux, it tries to suppress the field flux, and this effect of armature reaction on the field flux is called as demagnetizing effect. If you remember, at unity power factor, the effect of armature flux to the main flux, it is called as cross magnetizing. Here in lagging power factor, it is called as demagnetizing. It demagnetizes the field flux, hence the name is demagnetizing. Clear? So next we see its impact on leading power factor. The third one, its impact on leading power factor. Leading power factor. Here also students, we will take the same example, salient pole, 3-phase alternator having 2 number of pole. The same type of example we will take, and through the same phasor diagram we will get the conclusion what is the impact of armature flux to the main flux. So what do you mean by leading power factor? Leading power factor, it means our load is purely capacitive. It is purely capacitive. No resistance value is there. Okay, it is purely capacitive. You remember, in purely capacitive circuit, current leads the voltages by an angle of 90 degree. So on this basis, on these fundamentals, you draw the phasor diagram. So first I draw the phasor diagram for phase voltages. This is the phase voltage, and they are displaced from each other by 120 degree, and their respective phase currents, they leads these voltages by an angle of 90 degree, purely 90 degree lead. So phase A current lead the phase voltage by 90 degree, then phase current of phase B leads the voltage by an angle of 90 degree. Phase C current lead the respective voltage by an angle of 90 degree. This is IC. Okay. And the respective fluxes, they leads the voltages by an angle of 90 degree. Here separately I will draw the phasor for fluxes. So the phasor for flux phi A is in this direction. Previously we have also drawn the same one, same thing here I repeat. This one is phi B, this one is phi C. Now you get the value of currents for getting the resultant armature flux, because due to the armature current, flux is produces. So IA is, this is the direction of maximum current, positive, and this one is the negative. So vertical component of IA is Im cos 90 degree, which is 0. So flux IA is also 0. IB, this one is Im plus Im cos 30 degree, whose value is √3/2 Im. So phi B value is √3/2 phi M. Then IC, this angle is 30 degree. This is 30 degree. So it is minus Im cos 30 degree, whose value is minus √3/2 Im. Hence the value of phi C, which is produced by the phase C current, it is minus √3/2 phi M. So for getting the resultant flux produced by the armature conductor, first you draw the phasor for this 3 quantity. So I will draw the phasor for this 3 quantity in the same phasor diagram. As Ia is 0 here, I cancel this quantity, and phi B is plus √3/2 phi M. Phi B, this is phi B. Okay. So its value is √3/2 phi M. As it is positive quantity, here I keep this phasor in the same direction. Then phi C, it is negative. So I draw the opposite of this phasor. Okay, opposite of this phasor. opposite of this phasor phi c, and I will find the resultant of this phasor, that is the armature resultant flux. As this angle is 60 degree, you apply here parallelogram theorem and find the resultant phasor. After solving, you get its value is 1.5 m. This value is constant. This is the average flux produced by armature conductor. Finally, what conclusion you get, students? You see that the main flux or the field flux is upward. Field flux is upward, and armature flux, the resultant armature flux is also upward. The resultant armature flux is also upward, having more magnitude, greater magnitude than the field flux. Okay, in all the type of load, that may be unity, leading or lagging, your resultant flux is 1.5 m. Okay. So in leading power factor, they are of same direction. So what conclusion you get? You get that here the resultant flux or armature flux is, it assists the field flux. It assists the field flux. And this type of reaction or effect of armature flux to main flux is called as magnetizing effect. Magnetizing effect. Clear? So here, after discussing this, you are very clear that what is armature reaction and what is the effect of load on the armature reaction. So here we now see the conclusion part. Conclusion: in unity power factor, armature flux and field flux, the effect is known as cross magnetizing effect. Cross magnetizing effect, it means armature flux, it doesn't suppress it, but it distort it only, and the average value of flux is constant here. Then second thing we have learned, in lagging power factor, the armature flux and field flux are opposite to each other, and this type of effect is called as demagnetizing effect. Demagnetizing effect if the load is purely inductive, and third, if the load is purely capacitive, that is leading power factor. Here the field flux and armature flux, they are same direction. It means the armature flux assists field flux, and this type of effect is called as cross magnetizing effect. But if my loads are not purely inductive, some resistance value are there, then you may say that it is partly demagnetizing, partly cross magnetizing. Similarly, if my load is not purely capacitive, you may say that it is partly cross magnetizing and partly cross magnetizing if some resistance value are there. So after completion of this topic, students, you have learned what is armature reaction of an alternator and what is the impact of armature flux to the main flux if load is unity power factor, leading power factor and lagging power factor. Thank you. Sorry,